6-year-old shot by neighbors after he finds boy outside his home. So it says the man accused of shooting his 6-year-old neighbor is back in custody after initially being let out of jail on a $10,000 bond. Ryan Lee Nugent was granted release but was back in jail Thursday at the request of the prosecutor. Now, we know it wasn't the prosecutor that said, you know what, wait a minute, this is not right. It was because of the public outrage and it being shared on social media. The shooting happened after Lee Nugent heard commotion outside and told the 6-year-old and other children to leave. The boy's father said that Lee Nugent first approached his son with a sledgehammer when the boy went to retrieve his bicycle from in front of the neighbor's home. Surveillance video shows the child yell out in pain after a gunshot is heard, and another child screams for help when he notices the 6-year-old bleeding from his arm. The boy's father said, "I'm trying to figure out how he got a bond so low for trying to kill my child." So my question is, who's talking about this? This ain't being covered by, your big networks and your news channels. Like this is basically, this story has gotten around through social media. I'm not saying no news channels ain't covering it, but what I'm saying is that if it was a child that got shot in Chicago, they would be posting that everywhere. If it was a child that got shot in LA or New York, they would be posting, that'd be #1 headline. Now that it's an Asian man that senselessly shot a young black boy, you're not hearing a peep about it. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to focus on that. And just like the story I had before with the 2 white teens that had a shootout with the police in Florida, you're not hearing nothing about it. But when a black man does something, when a black boy does something, or a black man gets killed by another black man, or a black child gets killed by straight gunfire, it's all over the news. It's the #1 story, the biggest story. And then you'll have the people that come out the woodworks and say, what about black on black crime? They'll look at this story and they'll say, your anger is fake because you're not mad when, the 10-year-old or the 6-year-old gets killed by black on black crime, by a stray bullet. Where's your anger then? We already know that's coming. Of course, black on black crime is horrible, and black people are angry at black people hurting and killing one another. There's a double standard when it comes to what happens to us and what happens to other people. When it comes to black on black crime, they seem to be able to see race. They can see that it's 2 black people. But when it's somebody else that kills a black person, then everybody is colorblind. It's just an aberration, and it's not about race. It's not about race. To rationalize an Asian shooting a little black boy, they'll say, what about black on black crime? They see race then. Ain't that funny? That's funny to me. I think people need to go to an eye doctor and get their eyes checked out, because it seems as though when it comes to black people, they see color when it comes to crime, but they don't see the color when it's another race killing black people. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much.